Story 1. My new neighbor keeps parking in my driveway, but nobody lives there. I live in a cul-de-sac in a quiet neighborhood in Sacramento. Been here 7 years. Nothing exciting ever really happens here, which was kind of the point, but last month something changed. Or maybe it's been happening longer and I just didn't notice. It started with a car. One Monday morning, I noticed an older model silver Camry parked in my driveway, just sitting there. It was about 6:45 a.m. and I was heading to work. I assumed someone parked it overnight by mistake. I wasn't thrilled, but whatever. I left a note under the wiper. Private driveway. Please don't park here. Next morning. Car's gone. But Wednesday, it was back. Same spot, same car, no note taken. Thing is, my neighbor to the left, old Mr. Green, passed away almost 8 months ago. His house has been up for sale ever since. Empty. Or at least supposed to be. I walked over and peeked through the side window. Still empty. No furniture, no lights, dust everywhere. But when I walked back around, the Camry was gone. Not even engine noise. Just gone. I started documenting it. Set up a cheap motion-activated camera facing my driveway. First few nights, nothing. Then one morning, I check the footage, and I kid you not, the car appears. No approach, no headlights. Just one frame, driveway empty. Next frame, the Camry is there. No plate. I called the realtor listed on the for sale sign. Oh, we haven't had any viewings scheduled, she said. Still vacant. You're sure someone's using the house? I emailed her the footage. She ghosted me after that. Sign disappeared 2 days later. Things escalated. I came home one Friday and found my garage door open. I never leave it open. I'm the kind of guy who double-checks locks before bed. Inside was a shoebox I didn't recognize, just sitting on my workbench. Inside the box, Polaroids. Every photo was of my house. From weird angles, roof, basement window, the side alley near the AC unit. Some looked decades old, like they'd been taken with old film. One of them showed me asleep on my couch, curtains drawn. I filed a police report. They came, they looked around, they shrugged. Maybe squatters, they said. Then the Camry showed up again. Same spot. But this time, I walked right up to it. Fogged windows, no driver, no sound. I knocked. Nothing. I walked around to the rear and there finally was a license plate. Just one word, return. I haven't slept more than 2 hours a night since. So what do you think? Was the car just some kind of glitch in reality? Or is something paranormal tied to that empty house next door? And seriously, if this was happening to you, would you try to confront it, move out, or maybe even set up traps? Let me know in the comments, what do you think the word return really meant? Story 2. I was hired to catalog a dead professor's research. Something was hidden in the margins. I'm a grad student in library sciences, and last summer I got an odd job. A small private university hired me to help archive the papers of a recently deceased anthropology professor, Dr. Henry Tavris. He'd died of natural causes in his office, surrounded by books and notes. Creepy, but not unheard of. The university had no digital backups. Everything was paper, handwritten, decades of work. My job was to scan and catalog his documents. At first, it was typical academic stuff. Research on tribal customs, ritual symbology, migration patterns, etc. But about 10 boxes in, I started noticing patterns, small scribbles in the margins, tiny ones. Most people wouldn't notice them unless they looked closely. At first, I thought they were doodles, geometric shapes, spirals, broken glyphs. But they weren't random. On a whim, I started copying them into a spreadsheet. Eventually, I realized they weren't just shapes, they were coordinates. To the library's basement. I brought this to the department chair. He brushed it off. Tavris was a bit of a nut. Brilliant, but eccentric. I couldn't let it go. Late one night, I followed the coordinates down into the restricted stacks, and behind an old, rotted map case, I found something sealed inside. The wall, a small steel box. Inside, audio cassettes, labeled only by year. First one was from 1986. I found an old tape player and listened. Entry 1. The rights are older than recorded history. They're not symbols, they're instructions. I reported it to the university. They fired me the next day. NDA, threats, but I still have the tapes. This one felt like the start of a whole other mystery. Do you think the professor wanted someone to find those tapes? Or was this some kind of secret he died trying to protect? If you found something like this, would you keep digging? Or back off and pretend you saw nothing? Tell me in the comments, would you have kept the tapes or destroyed them?